Greetings, family. How y'all doing? Woo. This is Cassandra-Floyd, also known as the Daughter of the Fates. Still multitasking. I had a couple of readings to do and a couple of errands to run. So here I am again, rushing to write these new names that came down before the 5 o'clock hour. But I'm almost done. I will say that the last reading I had was nothing short of awesome. And it was hard for me to get off the call because it was so awesome. So thank you all who have been getting your readings. I will make this disclaimer because I'm going to be doing this. I don't know if you guys saw the feed, but I'm going to be doing this raffle through till Friday. So every day until Friday. And so when you email me, if you've won, to schedule your appointments, I'm gonna schedule your appointments for this weekend if you have the time. I'll schedule your appointments for this weekend. So Saturday and Sunday is when I will schedule your appointment. Okay, so you can check in with me and let me know if you've won, what day is good for you and what time is good for you. Okay, so I just have a couple more names to write down. So I want to thank you. I want to take the time to thank you all. Let's see. To thank you all for supporting the raffle. That is really, really dope. And I'm noticing that a lot more of them are coming in, like after business hours, after you guys have gotten off work. So if you have not yet gotten your raffle ticket, but still want to get raffle tickets, just know that I have another pull happening tonight at 9 p.m. So there's still plenty of time to purchase your raffle ticket. Okay, that's that. And I have a couple of announcements to make before I do the poll. Okay, nothing long, nothing deep. All right. Greetings, Dion 408. Dion. Okay, yes. All right, got you. Okay. So I have a couple of announcements to make. One, you know what? I didn't get the chance. I'm going to do it 9 o'clock. I didn't get the chance to check my updated members list, people who are paid members of my YouTube channel. But I want to take a minute just to shout those people out that are currently paid members of my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, let me turn my IG on too. Okay. Yes. Okay. So first, I want to shout out those that are paid members of my YouTube channel, the Daughter of the Fates YouTube channel, which is the functioning, pretty much outreach center for the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence, for which I am the founder. So right now, I know that a couple of people have joined since yesterday. So between now and the 9 o'clock poll, I will make sure to go onto my updated members list so I can shout you guys out at the 9 o'clock hour. As of now, Lajay, Guahan Goddess, Luis, Sons of Brahmana, Shy Boy Shades, Karma Aaliyah, FG Apothecary Company, Lindsay Bjork, voiceovers by Stephanie Marie, Jean Pham, Bay Soul, Ife the Ford, Jai Thomas, Claudia Ancra, Chloe Dior, It's Miss D, Goddess Daja, Carob Cinnamon, Hanifa Nyla, Janet Kennedy, and Lavender 888. And we just have 2 new members in real time. Look at that. That is awesome. Lisa J and Sam La Arana. I know who it is, but I ain't gonna call you out your new name. Okay, so that's awesome. We got 2 new members, which is dope. Awesome. Cool. And I'm just going to tell you really quick. I was telling you how I've been like, what do they call it? Shadow banned on YouTube. And so it's taken forever to break the 3,000 mark. But I'm going to tell you what y'all do makes a difference. Like me really challenging you guys to like share content and timestamp content and share it with others. And all of that has made a difference in a short period of time. At the beginning of last week, I had just broken 3,000. From last Monday to yesterday, I have 43 new members. So I gained 43 new subscribers in just a week. And I'm certain that it's because y'all are, commenting and sharing. I saw that. So I did my analytics yesterday. They show you from week to week your analytics. And there were 53 shares of content from my page. That is dope. That's huge. So thank you so much and keep doing that because it makes a world of difference. I can't even believe I gained 43 subscribers in a week. We have just been chiseling for like a year and a half trying to get out of the 2,000 marker. So that is really, really dope. Let's see what y'all talking about over here. Greetings, everybody in the room. Lisa J, who just became a member. Dion 408, Nebby Blue. Let's see, Sam La Arana that just became a member. I sent your reading of the Great Cosmic Mother to so many people. Even Bondi Blue shouted you out on her channel. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's one thing. Then I want to shout out those who have donated. Oh, you know what? Let me do the Etsy first because since for the last maybe 2 days, 3 days, I've been really shouting out my Etsy store as a way that you can support this project that I'm engaged in, trying to, solidify my foundation, if you will. And so people have really taken that seriously. So within the last 24 hours, I've gotten 4 orders on my Etsy store. Just a reminder, my Etsy store, everything is 10% off this month for Black History Month. So you can go to my Etsy store where I have 400-ish unique pieces on my Etsy store. So I want to shout out the people who heeded the call and bought some product from my Etsy shop over the last 24 hours, literally. Suha M, Wavy W, Tia G, and Dion W. Thank you so much. Is that you, Dion? Is that you? Dion? Is it the same Dion? Dion 408 and Dion W who bought some product from me. Oh, look at you. You're so wonderful. You're so wonderful. I love you for that. Man, that's so awesome. Yes. Come on in the room. Yes. And then last but certainly not least, last, I want to shout out people who have made donations. They just heeded the call and was like, look, donations. Okay. So the first donation that I should mention that you should all be, excited about is Sister Devin made a contribution. She bought 2 raffle tickets for the 30-minute reading. She bought 2 raffle tickets for the 30-minute reading to donate to the first 2 people that say, I want it. The first 2 people in, as of now, the first 2 people that say, I want it, the raffle for the 30-minute reading right now in the chat or right now on IG. Tap in the comments, the first 2 people, I want it. Okay, Nebby Blue, one more. I want it, a free 30-minute reading that is going in the raffle. I'm gonna put y'all name on it right now before I pull the raffle. I need one more. All right, cool, got you. So that's done. That is extremely generous, and y'all shout her out in the comments. That is Sister Devon, Devon. I don't know if she's up on here yet. but she's always here, so it might just take her a few. But yeah, shout her out for that. That's awesome. Cool. Cool. Okay, so that's gonna go in there, and then and then I want to shout out the donations. These are people that were just very generous and donated, just made straight up donations. So Faith H, Annabelle F, Cat 943, Sister Devon, who just made those donations for the 2 tickets, but she made additional donations. So thank you so much for that. Yancey M, Morgan L, GJP, Holly C, Savoy C, Jasmine H, Chanel R, Dion, who is on the call with us, Dion 408, made an extremely generous donation. Thank you so much, sister. She made a donation. She bought tickets. She bought some product from my Etsy store. Like, giant, humongous, energetic hug and shout out to you. That's really, really dope. Hey, Sons of Brahmana, how you doing? You just missed your shout out. Sons of Brahmana is one of our members, one of our paid members. Rochelle C, Louis G, Vanessa R, Ebony H, and Deja C. Deja C. Okay, so those are all the donations, the Etsy support, and then the members, the paid members of the channel. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. So, and then I have one more announcement. So the first pull that I did today, I had missed a payment. Sister Aquara L actually bought 3 tickets, and so I missed that there was one 30-minute reading, and so she won that just by default because nobody else had bought a $10 30-minute reading. So from the first pull, right, Sister Akara L has won a 30-minute divination session. Okay, now we can go. Let me just give an overview for those who are new, especially those of you who are on IG and don't know what I'm talking about. So for the last, I think I started it last night. It'll go through this Friday. I'm doing it's a fire support raffle. It's a fundraiser for me so I don't lose my housing. Long story, you can go back to the last 3 lives that I've done, and I've talked about it at the beginning of those lives. So this is the short version. So I'm doing a raffle for the next till Friday, and that raffle is for a 1-hour divination, and that is valued at $153. That raffle ticket is $20. Then I am doing a 30-minute raffle for a divination that is valued at $90. That's a $10 raffle card. Then I am doing a 60-minute 5 elements wellness consultation that also comes with a write-up. That write-up will include your diagnosis based on 5 elements theory, which is a system of traditional Chinese medicine, herbal and herb formula recommendations, and other nutraceutical or dietary recommendations. Also, it will include any other lifestyle adjustments that you need to make, whether temporarily or long-term, based on how you present at the time of the divination. So that is a 60-minute divination, 5 elements theory wellness consultation that includes a complete write-up of your whole person in real time, and that also includes 5 elements. It includes spiritual, psycho-emotional, and physical. So it's not just about, like, quote, diagnosing some physical ailment that you have. It is a complete diagnostic process that is dope and profound, and people are always enlivened by it. That's my personal opinion, just because of the feedback that I've gotten over the 11 years that I've been doing this, right? Okay. So that is valued at $180, and that ticket too is $20. So you've got the 60-minute divination, $20 ticket, the 30-minute divination, $10 ticket, the 60-minute 5 elements wellness consultation. That is 60 minutes. All of those are virtual. I haven't clarified that, but all of those are virtual. Those are done through Zoom. The way that you can purchase tickets if you are interested, because I am doing another poll tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the first way is through Zelle. That is the Temple of Evolutionary Emergence email address. So you use that email address for the Zelle if you want to pay by Zelle. That is EvoEmeTemp That's EvoEmeTemp That is for Zelle. For every way that you choose to make a payment, I ask you to specify what it's for. Is it for, so put tarot if it's for the divination, put tarot if it's for the 30-minute divination, or put consult if it is for, if you want to raffle for the 5 elements consultation. So put either 5E or consult, and then tarot and tarot for the other 2. Okay. So again, Zelle is EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. Let me close the door so I ain't telling everybody my business. Sound really carries in this little apartment complex. Okay. So the next way that you can pay is Cashapp, which is $DaughterOfTheFates. FATES, DaughterOfTheFates. One word, Cashapp. The next way is Venmo. I meant to have that written down, but again, I've been doing readings and I've been doing other stuff. Okay. So the next way is to, thank you so much for the donation, Nebby Blue. The next way to make your payment is Venmo, which is my name, Cassandra, Cassandra-Floyd. And then the last way is PayPal, and that is @IyapoNgina, IYAPONGINA. Okay. I promise at 9 o'clock, I will have it written down so I can perpetually show it to you so you can get your tickets, because I will be doing this every day. So tonight will be the last poll, but if you don't get pulled, I'm going to automatically put your name in the pot for the poll tomorrow. So again, tomorrow I will do a poll at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every day through Friday. So you have plenty of time. If you missed today, you have plenty of time for the next few days to get your raffle tickets for these services. Okay. The other way that you can support me securing my life is to shop my Etsy page. For the month of February, for Black History Month, I will be offering 10% off the entire store. That includes if you petition, if you petition me for a custom made piece. So if you order a custom made piece, typically there is an upcharge, but everything on the store, including custom pieces, is going to be 10% off this month. Okay. So that is another way. And I have dope stuff, if you have me tell it. All right. Like, as long as I've been making jewelry, my store has been up since 2008. And no, I haven't eaten. No, I haven't eaten Java Watson. And I just knew I was going to have time to go grab something quick before I got on this call. And I was literally in a reading all the way up to like 10 minutes before this call, which is why I was still scratching y'all names on paper when I got on the call. But anyway, no, I'm not. So I'm definitely not doing anything between the end of this call and the 9 o'clock poll, so I can go get myself something to eat. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, my Etsy store. So if you want to support my Etsy store and take advantage of the 10% discount this month, you can go to DaughterOfTheFates. That's FATES. I don't know why people keep wanting to say faith. FATES, DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. Okay. So That's another way that you can support. And of course, you can always support through donations. If you just want to support, yeah, then you can make donations. And I think that is it. Okay. I promised last night I wasn't able to do it today, but I was much busier than I thought I would be. But I am, before this week's end, I am going to upload purchasable PDFs of my African astrology deck. Okay. And what I mean is I've been talking to y'all for years now about the correspondence between the planets and the 7 African powers. So that is, I will post that to make that a purchasable PDF on my Etsy store before this week is over. Hopefully I'll have it up by tomorrow, but I will let you guys know in the lives that I'm doing ongoing to every time I mention it, y'all get hyped. So I know it is something that must happen right away. So yes, I promise before the week's end, ideally I will have it up on my live on my page, on my Etsy store tomorrow. Okay. All right. With that being said, we're going to get right to it because I promised myself I was not going to spend a whole hour doing this pull. So the first pull that we're going to do is for the 60-minute divination. All right. It's a 60-minute divination. Y'all like my glass skull? I love this thing. So my 60-minute divination. When you win, make sure to email me so that, one, if your YouTube name does not match the payment name, I know who you are. Okay. If your YouTube name does not match your payment name, like Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, make sure to email me and say who you are on YouTube so I can make, the correlation, right? And then what you mean I cheated? What you talking about? Nuh-uh, you cheated. What you mean? If y'all don't leave me alone now, how much better can I shake it? That better? Y'all bugging. All right. And I'm not looking at all, okay? And I'm twirling it around on the inside too. That good? All right. Okay. Lolita. So Lolita is the 5 o'clock winner for the 60-minute divination. Cool. Hey, Lolita, how you doing, boo? Yeah, she won. All right, so put those aside. All right, so next is the 30-minute divination. Let me put some more incense on my thing here. Okay. All right. So, okay. So next is the. So I think you came in a little late, Lolita. Just make sure to email me. So also that we can set up an appointment. So I will be, if you are in a hurry to have them done, I will be keeping my whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, open to do these services for you guys. So this week, I will not be doing these services because I'm going to be literally beating the street all day to make sure that I raise all this rent to keep them off of me. You feel me? So I'm going to be beating the street during work hours and then just diverting a little bit, because today was crazy trying to do readings in between this and still like conduct business. So Saturday and Sunday is when I will have you schedule your appointments if you win, or sometime next week, that's fine. But for this week till Friday, I'm just going to be doing this and then daytime business to try to find some other assistance and services to help with this situation. Okay. All right. Java Watson, you are straight bugging, okay? Just so you know about yourself, you're tripping. All right, so this is for the 30-minute. This is for the 30-minute. Okay. All right. K. Phillips. K. Phillips. K. Phillips. I don't know if she's on the call, but K. Phillips is the winner of the 30 minutes. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So let me take those out. Put those aside. All right. Last pull. Now, this is the coup d'etat. Okay. This is for the 5 elements whole wellness consultation. This includes a complete write-up of the results of your consultation with me. It is very thorough. It is extremely dynamic. You will leave this consultation well-versed in who you are, spirit, psycho-emotionally, and flesh. Okay? You will need a pen and paper for this consult, by the way. Even as I'm gonna send you a write-up, you're gonna need a pen and a paper. All right. Let me do that again because I look down everything. And I want to shout out Vass too. I hope I'm saying that right, Vass. I want to shout out Vass because he they said, I mean, they purchased a 5 elements consultation for their mama. I love that. They bought a ticket, a raffle ticket for the 5 elements consultation for their mother. I love that. I love that. I love that you did that. I love that you did that. Okay. Listen, I laughed because I'm still gonna pull another card, but I laughed because let me just tell you, let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna pull another card, but damn. Talk about the goddamn luck of the Irish and shit. Yo. Everyone. I'm gonna tell you why I laughed both times. Because Aquara, who, paid the $50 for all 3 tickets, has won 3 times. I done pulled her name 3 times. I'm giving it to her, but she won 3 times. I've only done 3 pulls. 3 times. Aquara. So she got the luck of the Irish. 3 times. That's why I pulled the second one on the second pull. And then this last pull for the divination. She need to make herself available for us to rub on her for some of that good luck. She need to go play the lottery. So wait a minute. If you could divine me some good lotto numbers, I'm good. I'm trying to tell you, Aquara L, who bought 3 tickets and won 3 times, we need to be figuring out how to rub on her so we can get some of her good luck. She ain't on here right now, but she need to go play the lottery this week. Okay? And then she need to break bread. She need to break bread. I need to put that in the email to her because 3 times I done put this woman's name. Man. Yeah, I'm going to email her. She ain't on here right now. I'm going to email her as soon as we get out this call. Like, yo, tonight. Don't even wait till tomorrow. No pass go. You need to go play them numbers tonight. Okay? Okay. And so for the second, for the second pull, because Aquara won in, for the second pull of the 5 Elements Wellness Consultation is Devin. I'm gonna have to ask you to write the enunciation in the email for me, so I'm not saying your name wrong. But they have won the 5E consultation for this 5 o'clock reading. Okay, so all right, so let me take those out of there. All right, so there you go. I will be back at 9 o'clock to do yet another pull from this raffle for very, very dope, functionally applicable, deeply introspective gifts, prizes, right? So let me tell you. I told you I ain't gonna belabor this, but I do want to tell you the last read that I did today before I got up on here. Let me make sure that's right. Okay, so that is for the 60-minute tarot. I found envelopes. Let me put these away real quick so I don't get them messed up. Okay, so that is for the 60-minute consult. So the last person that I just read before I got up on this call, I promised her that I was going to read the last card that I pulled for her on this call. That last card I pulled for that young sister was so on time. I mean, you have to have a little bit of a frame of reference because it was the last card and I did a 3-card spread for her. But yo, even by itself, the card was fire. The card was fire. And as I'm talking to her about the card, as I'm reading excerpts from the card, we both were shook. We both were shook. Greetings, everyone. Okay, so this is the 30 minutes. Okay. It was great. It was great. And I promised I was going to read her last card before I got off of this call. So let me put those there. So I'm going to take a second to do that. It won't take long. And then I'm going to get off this call and or this live and then make the live for the next poll, which is at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, I want to reiterate, if you want to take advantage of this raffle, which is, I'm going to eat, baby. As soon as we get off this call, I'm going to eat. But thank you for caring about my life. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's dope. So it's what was I saying? Oh, so this raffle that I am initiating and will be ongoing every day until Friday. So I'm doing 3 pulls a day. That's at noon, 5, and 9. Every day until 9 p.m. Friday. If you want to take advantage, these are virtual gifts. So the first prize is the 60-minute divination, which has a value of $153. It's a 60-minute divination for $153. That raffle is $20. A 30-minute divination that is valued at $90. That is $10 raffle. The 60-minute 5 elements wellness consultation that also includes a complete write-up of your diagnostic process, your overall plan for your life. That includes nutritional guidance. That also includes any type of Chinese herbal formulas that you may need to be on and the duration that you'll need to be on those formulas, and any necessary lifestyle adjustments that you need to make, whether those adjustments are temporary or should be ongoing. Okay, so it's very deep, very thorough. Any spiritual direction that you may need, huh? Yes, Constance, you did. Good night. Oh, good night, Cassandra. Good night, Cassandra. Good night, Dion. Thank you again for your donation, sister. That was really, really generous. Thank you so much for supporting my Etsy store. That's dope. That's dope, dope, dope. And so let's see, Constance. Yes. So the winner announcements, I can just say, was Devin, Akara, K. Phillips, and Lolita. I did 2 pulls for the 30-minute and the 5E because Akara won 3 times. I only did 2 pulls. She won 3 times. So I was like, all right, I will do an additional pull since she is taking all the things. Okay. So let's see. Love to all in the chat. I got to fix these folks' computer. All right. We'll see you later, Nebby Blue. I got you in the I thank you so much for becoming a member today. Shout out her and Sam Arana, who became members at the top of this live. Okay, so again, if you want to take advantage of this raffle, you have time to purchase tickets tonight before the 9 o'clock poll, which is 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. And I will be doing this poll every day at noon Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until Friday at 9 p.m. So get your tickets. These are virtual divinations and the consult is virtual. Okay. If you are local and you want to participate in the in-person consult, then you can do that. Typically in person, I do the consult and the treatment, which is a 2-hour session. But so that will not be a $20 raffle. So if you want to talk about that, you can email me. So the way to get your tickets is Zelle, which is the temple's email address. That's EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. If you are on YouTube, the description, a complete description of the raffle and how to purchase your tickets is in the description below this video. But again, people are watching from IG too. So if you want to purchase your tickets via Zelle, again, you will use the temple's email address, which is EvoEmeTemp@gmail.com. If you want to purchase your tickets, oh, greetings. Thank you so much, Vaz. Vaz became a member today. Woohoo! All right, let me put your name on the list so I can shout you out later. That's what's up. Okay. So if you want to use Cashapp, that is $DaughterOfTheFates. $DaughterOfTheFates. If you want to purchase your tickets via Venmo, that is my name, Cassandra, Cassandra-Floyd. Cassandra-Floyd, Floyd, and PayPal is @Iyapo Ngina. That's IYAPO NGINA. IYAPO NGINA. Again, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is in the YouTube search engine @DaughterOfTheFates. If you just put Daughter of the Fates as separate words, you'll have a hard time finding me. @ Daughter of the Fates is one word, take you right to my channel. You can click on my most recent video and it'll have the raffle details spelled out in the description and how to purchase your tickets. You can do that in time for the 9 o'clock poll tonight, or you can do it any day for the rest of the week until Friday at 9 p.m. When you win, when you hear yourself having won, plus I will email you guys, but if you win, make sure to email me. When you purchase your tickets, make sure to put a note on the purchase to say either 5E, which is 5 elements, or tarot for the 60-minute or the 30-minute divination. Tarot for the 30-minute or 60-minute divination in the note box or in the message box, or 5E if you are specifically paying for a raffle ticket for the 5 elements consultation. Otherwise, if there's nothing there, I will assume it's a donation, and that is welcome. I appreciate you for it. I am still accepting donations. This was just another method to, like, you know, get people on board with helping me helping me in this situation. Okay, so yes, is there anything else? So also tonight when I do the poll at 9 o'clock, that I will start with the poll. So that'll be the first order of business, is to shout everybody out, do the poll. But tonight, just like most nights at 9 o'clock, I am actually going to do a live discussion. So it's going to be a regular live. It's going to be a regular live, but be prepared because I'll do the poll at the beginning of the live before I get into the topic. And let me pull this card out, because I did say I was going to take a few minutes to share this card that came through in this last reading that was just so perfectly on time for today. All right. So the card is called the Peacemaker. I'm going to show it to you guys on YouTube first. So it's the number 9. It's the number 5 card. It is the Hierophant and the traditional deck and the traditional tarot. So you see, you got a lot going on here. You got people from all these different cultures represented there at the bottom, right? Look like they from all different cultures all over the world. You have the Peacemaker or the Hierophant. You see the energy coming from his hands to the people, right? And then you see like a megalith, like Stonehenge or something like that in the background, okay? And the megalith is a representation of like ancient wisdom, secret wisdom, mysteries, those things that have been forgotten or deliberately hidden, okay? Now I'll show the card to you guys here on IG. This is the Peacemaker, also known as the Hierophant, the number 5 card in the traditional deck. Okay. So again, you see all these people from obviously different cultures, different races, sitting there before the Hierophant or the Peacemaker. You see this energy, right, coming off of his hands there, feeding into them. And behind him is this megalith that looks like, you know, any number of megaliths around the world, Stonehenge or any other stone creations that are mysterious in their origins. Okay. It's crazy that this card came up because I think I posted a picture on my either on my Facebook or my YouTube like community section, because the other day a memory came up in my Facebook memories about my time at the Georgia Guidestones, right? Which are no more. They were demolished under extremely janky circumstances. But you know, being an old school conspiracy theorist, it was on my top 10 list of places that I must visit as a conspiracy theorist. And I had been for years wanting to go to the Guidestones. And so just about 3 days before the winter solstice of 2020, which was the great conjunction that everybody was talking about, the great planetary alignment that supposedly had not happened since the proposed birth of Christ. Right. So this great conjunction that was happening on the winter solstice, and I got there to Atlanta 3 days in advance because we were holding on the great conjunction. Looking back, that was crazy. But on the great conjunction, we held an ayahuasca ceremony on the lake we were housed in 3 yurts for 3 days. The day before the solstice, the day of the solstice, and the day after the solstice. And it was nothing but Black men and women in these yurts at what is it called? I think it's called Crystal Waters Park or something. It's a big, beautiful like nature reserve in outside of Atlanta. Anyway, since I got into town early, I was like, let's drive to the Georgia Guidestones. Like, what better time than now? It's a few days before we all get together. And it was only like a 2-hour drive from Atlanta. That day was so radical. I have to do like a short story about it. It was so radical. We went just days before the solstice. So one of the things about the Guidestones was that the guy who is unknown to this day, who built the Georgia Guide, who had the Georgia Guidestones constructed, had very specific measurements so that there were holes in all the foundational stones, and those holes in the like at eye level, those holes in the foundation stones, it was four foundation stones, and then a top stone as a slab on the top. And he had the holes, the mathematics of the holes placed so that the sun would shine directly into these holes at the winter solstice and the summer solstice, at the spring equinox and the fall equinox. And so we went just days before the winter solstice, and in all of the pictures, I can reshare the pictures if you guys want. In all of the pictures, you just see every picture that I'm standing in, you just see these orbs all over the place from where the sun is shining through these holes onto me as I'm standing in between the slabs of these Georgia Guidestones. So I was so hyped that I got to go to the Guidestones, and it was such an epic and crazy experience. To this day, I'm convinced I was abducted by aliens. You feel me? Listen, we lost 5 hours that we didn't know where they went. Anyway, so we go to the Georgia Guidestones, have this crazy event, this crazy experience getting back. 6 months after I go to see the Georgia Guidestones that I've been talking about literally for 20 years, wanting to go see, somebody bombed the Georgia Guidestones. And when they bombed it, one of the slabs was destroyed, but the structure was still standing. And under the guise of investigating it, the feds came in the very next day, quote, led their investigation. 24 hours later, they had a demolition team come out there. The structure was still standing. Come out there and completely demolish the Guidestones. And what most people didn't know, I didn't know until we got there, that it wasn't just the stand-up structure that they called America Stonehenge. They called the Guidestones America Stonehenge, but there was also a time capsule next to it with I think they said it was a 25,000 pound slab on the top of it with instructions about the retrieval of what was in the time capsule covered by this 25,000 pound limestone slab. Everything was removed and demolished. Every brick, every scrap, everything was gone within 48 hours of the bombing of the Guidestones, 6 months after I went to go see it. I was like, whoa. So those pictures came up in my memories just a couple of days ago. And so I went into a little bit of a wormhole, because apparently just 2 months ago, there were updates on the investigation about the Guidestones, and I wasn't even up on game. And then I pulled this card with this little Stonehenge structure in the background, and I immediately thought about the fact that just 2 days ago, I was in this wormhole about the Georgia Guidestones. Anyway, I digress. Okay, so this card, the Hierophant, so the reason her read was so deep is because of her astrology. Typically, I've just started doing this where I will ask you, if I'm doing a reading for you, what your triad is, what your sun, moon, and rising sign is, if you know it. Because lately it's been playing a factor in the outcome of your pull for me. And so this woman is literally, with her triad, the walking personification of the Iami. Her sun was Yamaya, her moon was Oshun, and her ascendant was Scorpio, Oya. I was like, damn, right? and then some of the very particularities about her reading. And then I pull as her last card, the Hierophant card, the Peacemaker. The Peacemaker in this deck is the mediator, you see, right? He is standing between the world's people as represented in this card, and he is disseminating. You see the power coming from his hands? He is disseminating some kind of like divine wisdom to them. He is the mediator between the ancient wisdom represented energetically by this megalith, this series of megaliths in the background. And he is functioning as the Hierophant, he as the Peacemaker. He is functioning as the conduit of this transformation of divine, hidden, mysterious wisdom as represented by the megaliths, okay? Filtering through him to disseminate this divine, secret, hidden wisdom to the many that are represented by the obvious variety of sexes and cultures and races and nations represented at the bottom of this card, all focused on the Hierophant. The thing about the Peacemaker, the AKA Hierophant, is that this great mediator and disseminator of the hidden, of the unseen, of the mysterious, of the forgotten, this great Peacemaker, this great Hierophant, this great mediator exists within us. See, it is the great forgotten. That's what was fucking me up about this girl's read. Her ascendant was Scorpio. And I'm constantly talking to you guys about Scorpio in general as Oya in this period, and deconstructing these old ideas that to me are very patriarchal ideas, right? Deconstructing these ideas. I had to sneeze. About our relationship to our Scorpio placements, okay? About how we see, quote, the planet Pluto, right? That I am really struggling with you to stop seeing that planet, the 9th planet in our solar system, through the lens of Pluto or Hades, and to shift your focus to seeing that planet through the lens of the goddess Oya. Or if you are Mexica, or if you are Azteca, or if you are Asian, if you're Chinese or Japanese or Vietnamese, or if you are Native American, and you have is something that you have to look for, but your ancestors' understandings of the heavens and the characteristics that they gave the planets through their worldview, then research that. I'm using Oya as my African Yoruba worldview, but if you're into Kemetic tradition, then what are the characters associated with this 9th planet in this system that is us? The solar system is us, right? Just like I talked to you guys about the 5 elements. Even though they have their independent personalities, functions, and jobs, they are, even in their separate identification, they work together. And it is in this harmonious relationship of them working together, doing their own job while still having a relationship with the others, not imposing upon, right? That make up who we are in an instant, right? This is the same relationship that we as Earth, not we on Earth, we as Earth has with the other organs, aka planets, in our one system, in our one organism that is the solar system, okay? And because of the archetypes that have been imposed on us that we carry around, it has created a malignancy, a disconnect in Earth's relationship to the other planets. That's my personal position. You feel me? That's my personal position. Okay, and so when I tell you to instead, if you can look at the archetype of Oya to explain your Scorpio placement and what that means in your life and how you should move based on the Scorpio placement in your life, instead of seeing it as, the personification of your shadow self, and and oh, you got to do your shadow work, and everything about this relationship with Scorpio, aka Pluto, aka yeah, is like doomy and gloomy and like laborious, and it's hard work to do the shadow work, and it's uncomfortable to do the shadow work and all that shit. Try to keep in mind the archetypal characteristics of Oya, because Oya is one personification of our mother. She is always rooting for us. She's always rooting for us, right? She's caring for us, even if she didn't, quote, give birth to you. She treat you like one of her own babies, right? And so when you start to think about these archetypes that are associated with and the stinger, the Scorpio, the scorpion as the, quote, the stinger that, quote, strikes at the heart of the matter, or the truth of the matter. This is the winds of change produced by Oya. They are uncomfortable, especially if you have become stuck and stagnant in something that is completely preventing your growth, your transformation, your elevation, your evolution. Because typically at the end of the storm, we're like, oh my God, the storming is terrible, all this and this. But everything is fresh. The air is clear. It smells good. The grass smells good after a great storm, right? We don't think about the storm as a guarantee of blessings, the storm as a predictor of blessings to come. We always lament about the storm. California is the worst about it. These people hate the rain. It only rained for like 20 minutes the other day. Remember I told you it was the first time since May it rained in this damn city? It literally only rained for about 20 minutes. And people's like, oh my God, it's raining. It's rain. People, when I say visibly, emotionally hate the rain in the city, I'm like, y'all realize y'all live in the desert, right? Like you should be praying for rain. You should be popping bottles, having parties whenever it rains. They hate the rain, right? And why did I say that? Oh, because people lament about the storm. They dread the storm. But the outcome, Southern Californians absolutely hate the rain. It's a real crazy ass phenomenon to me, but it's a real thing. And so we lament, we dread the storm. We just hate being uncomfortable, and rain makes you red, and then you have to drive in it to go to work. We just hate being uncomfortable, right? And so we think that rain or storms is a nuisance. But every time a good rain, a good storm comes through, yes, it may be uncomfortable, but there is always blessings that come after it, right? That's her energy. She only stings, if you will, the metaphorical Scorpio. She only stings when you've gotten stuck. It only hurts when you have refused to evolve, or you have gotten comfortable in this place that you are, and something else is really forcing you to shed the skin, make yourself new. There's something better on the other side, but you got to move through the uncomfortable phase to get there, right? Now, why is this important about the Hierophant? Because the astrological sign that corresponds with this card is the Taurus. This was the sister's moon sign, right? I'm going to read you to what I read her, because there are very specific things that I pulled out my old grimoire for, right? Like I said, I started this grimoire in my spiritual journey beginning in EFI in 2008. So this is all my little study, my little infant baby studies coming into EFI, reading everything that I can, taking bullet points about each of the Orisha, whatever. And so because my homework for this young woman whose sun was Cancer, whose moon was Taurus, and whose ascendant was Scorpio, literally the personification of the Iami, Yemaya, Oshun, and Oya in her triad. I was like, that's your homework. That's your homework, is to spend no more than 20 minutes researching bullet point style. Don't write everything, only those things that resonate with you immediately about each one of these Orisha, right? And so I was like, well, let me go back to my old little grimoire when I was a little baby in the tradition, because she was very young. I was a little baby in the tradition, and see what I wrote about these Orisha. And I was like, man, it's been so long since I went back to my little baby notes about the Orisha, my little bullet points when I didn't know nothing about the Orisha, what stood out, and what I kept as my little lesson about the Orisha. And baby, I'm going to read that to y'all, because I was like, damn, I need to be going back to my old baby notes more often. So the peacemaker, the hierophant, the mediator. What is one of the main things I'm always talking to you about Oya? She is the space in between all things. She is the mediator. She occupies the space between all things. She occupies the space between each inhale and exhale. She occupies that moment when the sperm is finally allowed to break the surface of the egg, that spark of life that we can now see under a microscope like camera. That is Oya. She is the governess of what we call the quickening. For those of you who are not familiar with the quickening is originally used to describe that moment. It's a metaphor, but that moment that the pregnancy becomes real to the mother, meaning that very first movement that she feels of the baby in her body, that very first movement is called the quickening. It's called the quick. This is where, okay, now it's real. Like, yes, I can see the baby and all that, but now it's real. I can feel the baby moving. This is the quickening, right? Of course, Christianity stole the concept and talked about the quickening a lot in the Bible, the quickening of the spirit. One who has been, quote, filled with the Holy Spirit. This is the quickening of the spirit, where you can feel the Holy Spirit. You feel me? Okay. In my little baby notes, I had forgotten about this. I forgot about this in my little baby notes, reading about Oya. Right? It says that Oya is the quickening. Is the quickening. And the word quickening literally means to make alive, to shine more brightly, to enter into a phase of active growth and development. This is Oya. That's why she's present at the time that you were conceived. She is present at the moment that first spark of light shines on your dome as you exit your mother's body. That's Oya. She governs the third eye. She exists, but she owns the breath. She exists in the space between each exhale and inhale, right? It says that she is the mother of mind, intellect, and genius. She is called one of her many, many names. She who has 9 heads. I forgot about that. Mistress of disguises. Another thing that was interesting, y'all remember, I still haven't done it yet, so don't make me feel bad. But I was going off on the cicada song thing, did a whole breakdown of the cicada significance. It's one of her animals. Remember, I told you the other day when I was doing all this deep ass study, and a sparrow flew right into my living room. I've got some driftwood sitting on my creation table. That bird flew right into my apartment, sat on my stack of driftwood, looked me square in the eyes, hung out for a minute, and then flew right back out my door. A yellow sparrow. I was like, oh, so I should research the spiritual significance of the sparrow. It is one of Oya's chief animals, chief totem animals. So her animals are buffalo, sparrows, fireflies and dragonflies, bats, deers, sheep, and cicadas and locusts. Okay, I've been talking to y'all about locusts for a year. Okay, anyway, so those of you who are tuning in from IG, they only let me broadcast for an hour at a time, so I'm going to X this out and come back up. Okay. Y'all know y'all was tripping earlier. That's why you trying to be all cute now. All right, so let me pull that back up. All right, cool. And then I'm gonna end this because I gotta go get something to eat. Okay, so she plays a role particularly in witchcraft, but the dark crafts, athletics, marketplace, and business. What else was significant? Right? There's 401 Orisha. She's the only one of the 401 that has 1 foot in the terrestrial realm and 1 foot in the ancestral realm. I will read this. Oya, listen to this as I continue with the peacemaker. Oya is the complex convergence. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me while I pull out my little thing. As I let y'all watch this while I read what the next thing says about Oya. Okay? It says Oya is the complex convergence of spiritual forces that are key convergence, the coming together, the convergence of the key elements in the Ifa concept of change and dynamics and form as it exists in the entire universe. Dynamics and form represent the polarity between the forces of both expansion and contraction. Together, these forces create lightness and darkness, which in turn sustains and defines all existence. According to Ifa, it is this interaction between lightness and darkness that generates the entire physical universe. And it is Oya who keeps this interaction in a constant state of flux and motion. Yo. Yo. Okay. Listen. I forgot. As much as I talk about it, I did not go to my little baby infant notes in my initial walk. Well, these little baby infant notes that just blew my mind today. Why is that important where the Hierophant, aka the Peacemaker, is concerned? Because the Peacemaker, I'm going to read you this card, okay? And then I'm going to let y'all go on about y'all life. The Peacemaker, as a mediator, it says, so this is the affirmation of the card. Cut it out. This is the affirmation of the card. I am the mediator between my God self and my world. I bring the within outward, recognizing that my presentation and the world's response are just. I am at peace with all outcomes. This is the lesson of the card. I am the guiding voice. This is the Hierophant, the mediator within you. I am the guiding voice speaking to you from within your heart, combining the soul's needs with those of the world. I tell you when to speak and when to be silent. I cut it out. I am the go-between, the bridge. I am the go-between, the bridge, the mediator, right? I am the one who knows the ways of the world and yet am not overwhelmed by them. I tell you how to bring your highest vision into creation. Listen, there's a word there. There's a word there. I tell you how to bring your highest vision into creation. If you have listened to the tarot cards before me, you have seen what can be. You have created a supportive structure. Listen. What did we spend all last week talking about? I just got goosebumps everywhere. What did we spend all last week talking about in preparation for the first new moon of the year, the Aquarius new moon, and the simultaneous Chinese New Year, Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the snake? What did we talk about? That the year of the dragon, the year that we just came out of, was the period that we spent creating the structure, creating the foundation, and that entering into the period of the snake is what? Is to be led not by rationality, not by strategy and analytics, right? Calculation. She kept saying calculation all like a lot in her reading. I was like, no, this is the time for two things: to be led in the shaping of this structure by intuition and collective work to create now what becomes the flesh of the foundation. Here this card say right here, the exact words I've been talking to y'all about for a week. You have seen, let's see. I tell you how to bring your highest vision into creation. You have listened to the tarot cards before me, and you have seen what can be. You have created a supportive structure for your ideas and your ideals. Now I tell you how to present yourself through these structures. I am your interface with the world. If you are not within a structure, this is the coup d'etat, y'all. If you are not currently within a structure, be it a job, a relationship, or a society which supports your wholeness, this is a word for everybody listening. For everybody listening. A job, a relationship, or a society which support if you are not within a structure, that be it a job, a relationship, or a society which supports your wholeness, you may find me, your interface with the world, your from the within outwards, right? You may find me, your peacekeeper. Who is the peacekeeper for? It's for you. You may find me suggesting outrageous things if you are not within a structure that's be it a job, a relationship, or a society which supports your wholeness. You may find me suggesting outrageous things. Who that sound like that? If that don't sound like, oh yeah, right? Depending on how non-beneficial your structure is for your self-actualization, I may even cause trouble. You heard? Y'all ain't heard. Y'all ain't up in here. Y'all ain't up in here. I was doing cicada research, and they are connected to the numbers 4 and 8, even the ones that come up in the cycles of 13 and 17. I ain't even told y'all about that deep dive I went into the 17 and 13 when doing that damn deep dive on the cicadas. We have to get on into that another day, but I'm right here where you at. I'm right here where you at. Okay. It says, depending upon how non-beneficial your structure is for your self-actualization, I will cause trouble. Listen to me, you guys. One of the things that I was telling y'all the other night is we have to create new language urgently, because I am hearing so many people say all the time, I'm so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so exhausted. No matter how much sleep I get, no matter how good I eat, I'm exhausted. You are not exhausted. You are not exhausted. And we don't have another language to explain what we are experiencing. Not yet, right? This is what you are experiencing. Your peacemaker within you, your freaking hierophant within you, your mediator within you is trying to rage the fuck out, and you have tamed it. Does that not sound like what Scorpio is about? That little chained, locked in the closet baby that you keep secret because you are fearful that if you bring this little baby out, this little weird baby that you got deep in your heart, people are going to clown you. People are going to make fun of you. Why you want to do that? That's crazy. Why you into that? That's wow. Where did that come from? So you keep the best part of yourself hidden and locked away like a throwaway child in a closet, chained, that's wilding out of control, begging for its time on the spot, begging for its time on the block. That's why this Scorpio shit be frustrating y'all so. And because you have a patriarchal worldview imposed on you about your relationship to your Scorpio placement, about your relationship to the planet Pluto, all you see is that which still must be avoided, right? It says, listen, depending on how the non-beneficial structure is for your self-actualization, I'll cause trouble. What does this mean? God damn it. Here we are. He's talking about the non-beneficial structure. And I keep telling y'all, let these fools keep doing what they're doing. I know y'all uncomfortable. I understand why. Because you don't have a frame of reference, not an immediate frame of reference for what can be different, for how things can change and the role that you can play in it, right? And so you see Trump seizing possession of the edifice of, quote, democracy in the world. But it is not the edifice of democracy in the world. The edifice that he is dismantling in real time, though his ambitions might be totally different, right? He and his cronies and billionaire cronies, and they all like white nationalists, and they hate everybody, and women, they hate women, all the things. But in their extreme presentation in the, quote, takeover of what they see as the reins of power in real time. We are witnessing the revelation that all y'all promised in the first place, to see how flimsy this shit is and how it has been erected and propped up on a myth of superiority. That's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. So we are uncomfortable when everybody on here talking about, that's against the Constitution. It's against the Constitution. You're violating our constitutional rights. How can the Supreme Court do this? How can the legislator, our senators, and our House of Representatives, how can they allow this to happen? Honey, the fallacy of the superiority of this Godhead erected on genocide and slavery, America as a Godhead, is being exposed every single day. With every swipe of the pen, this white boy is deconstructing in real time, not deconstructing, revealing the fallacy of what has been America. I'm just giving you a word that I know you ain't going to be comfortable with because you don't have a frame of reference for anything different. You don't. I get it. And I talk to you about the necessity of creating the new in real time, just like they did. America is only 250 years old. And the day that America, the idea, was concretized as a state, I'm talking about the state apparatus, as a state, which was July 4th of 1776, it had already been baptized in an ocean of blood. It had already been consecrated in the stolen life force of thousands and hundreds of thousands of Black people. It was given birth to in a ritualistic genocidal bloodbath, and consecrated and upheld and constructed through the forced imposed labor, extracting the actual life force from human beings. And you cry and lament and woe as that document, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, was drafted as you were, like I told you the other night, the artificial intelligence used to perform all the labor in the new world. Who needs a goddamn robot, bitch, when you haven't resolved your past? That for the better part of the erection of this monstrous bitch, 400 plus years, that Black-skinned people and red people had been mechanized, no different than artificial intelligence, had been mechanized, no different than an assembly line of inanimate objects programmed to just execute and create wealth, execute and create wealth, execute and create wealth. On top of the mechanization of human spirit, of human essence, of human flesh, that is America. You feel me? On the top of the mechanization, 400 plus years of mechanization of human beings, was the ability for these people to literally generate wealth out of thin air through the forced impregnation of hundreds of thousands of women, Black-skinned women whose bodies became a machine, no different than the Matrix, whose only purpose was to churn out wealth, was to create wealth out of abstraction, out of their bodies. And this was a product created and generated no different than that which we construct on a fucking assembly line. No faces, no voices, no spirits, no souls, no right to love, no right to hate, no right to rebel, no right to fight back, no right to say no, no matter what time of day. Y'all talking about the future takeover of robots of your bullshitting ass job that's barely able to support your existence. But we have not even reconciled the 400 years of human beings being transformed into God, transformed from God on earth into faceless, nameless, lifeless, voiceless, identityless robots for 400 years. Not just here. Every the fuck where, On earth, they went. They transformed the indigenous population with spirit and intelligence and sacred science and the mysteries presented here by the Hierophant, the lost, deliberately hidden, the deliberately imposed amnesia on the spirit of human beings to reduce them from God to machines. That's what happened and was sustained and continues to be maintained to this day. So that's why the Hierophant here, the peacemaker here, is saying, look, your structure don't support your existence. You know inside you, you are bigger than what you are allowed to be. You know inside you, because it's been raging the fuck out of control since you were a child, and they pathologized it. They pathologized your rebellion. They pathologized your internal revolutionary that started rearing its ugly head at 2. They pathologized your boredom. I'm going to sleep in class because this shit is dumb. My teacher is stupid. I'm smarter at 5 than my teacher is. So I'm going to sleep. They pathologized your rebellion. They encaged your peacemaker, your Hierophant. And every now and again, that motherfucker's like, look, you know something wrong. And you will always internalize that what you are experiencing in your body is evidence of some weakness on your part, some pathology on your part. You will always turn in on yourself when faced with the fact that when your structures, whether it's your job, your relationship, or the society at large that does not support your wholeness, you may find me suggesting outrageous things like tear this shit the fuck up. Like Constitution, fuck the Constitution. If they can create it just 250 years ago, bitch, we can create one right now in real time. And who is going to tell us it is less divine than what they constructed and made like the Bible? They gave divinity to the Bible. Divinity didn't come from up on high and place itself in the Bible. They gave the Bible its divinity. They gave the Bible its infallibility. They gave the Bible its mystery, and then convinced you of its divinity, convinced you of its infallibility, convinced you that it is the sacred among all sacred. They did the same thing with the Constitution. That's why y'all crying crocodile tears every time somebody violates your constitutional rights. Even as that motherfucker was drafted, your ass was faceless and nameless and spiritless and didn't deserve to love, didn't deserve to receive love, didn't deserve to move about the cabin freely, did not deserve to experience ecstasy, were not entitled to say no, was not entitled to defend yourself against the aggressions of others. That was what was happening while they was drafting that document that y'all hold so dear. You give the Constitution its godlike divinity. You do. You give the Bill of Rights its divinity, its sacredness, its mystery. You do. Even as the foundation of that shit was stolen from the Iroquois. Y'all can't even reconcile that. They ain't even draft that shit. They wasn't that smart. They make you believe they was that smart because that's what they always do. Is they always make you want to believe they the smartest person in the room. That's because that's how they act. Every space, everywhere, they always act like they the smartest motherfucker in the room. So they have to convince you that they're the smartest person in the room. So you read the Constitution, and thousands and millions of people visit the Constitution, and it's got sensors and alarms. This is an optical illusion. First of all, the Constitution, baptized in the blood of the indigenous, stolen from the genius of the Iroquois. There's like, ooh, this sound nice. We ain't even got to come up with nothing ourselves. Let's just clean up the edges a little bit, change some of the words, make it fit us, make it suit our interests. And then we'll say we did it. We'll say it's ours. Sound familiar? Isn't that the conversation that we had through the guidance of Mama Zogbe writing about the Sibyls, the black ass Sibyls whose writings and divinatory oracles were the basis and the foundation for all 3 of them Abrahamic books, the Torah, the Talmud, the Bible, and the Quran. stolen because they didn't have a leg to stand on, because they had lost the face of God, because they had completely turned their face from God. So how are they going to divine? How are they going to have power in their bodies to heal humans and execute miracles? They couldn't do that. So they had to create make-believe by stealing the divine oracles. Doing the same thing, cleaning up the edges, hiding a few parts so you don't get access to it. The Sibylline books become the Sibylline oracles in the possession of the Levitical Jews. Other portions of the Sibylline books hidden in the catacombs of the Roman Catholic Church. We're looking at this shit in real time. And the Hierophant is like, look, y'all can keep sitting in your own shit if you want to, but there's going to come a point when I am going to force you to challenge your structure. It says right here, depending on how non-beneficial your structure is for your self-actualization, for you to become God again, for you to remember that you are God. That's the only reason that you incarnated in the flesh, is for God itself to have a material experience, for God itself to take the big, broad, vast, boundless power of the universe and focus it through a conduit, which is you, God on earth. That's why we say mommy and I are one. That's why the call is mommy and I are one. We are not separate from her. We are not separate from her in any of her manifestations. We are not separate from her in the form of these great benefics in the sky, right? Our planetary siblings in this singular system called our solar system. We are not apart from her. And the separation from her is what has all of us sick and forgetting our divinity and forgetting our power. And we forget it every day in real time, because we don't look around the planet and say, damn, I'm rich as fuck. Look at all this shit I done built. Look at all this shit I done created. Look at all this shit I done generated. And that my mama and them, and my daddy and them, and my great grandma, and my great granddaddy, and on and on and on, all the way back to the beginning of this project called patriarchy. Our people built everything we set our sights on. That's why we're chronically sick and we're chronically frustrated. How the fuck I ain't got enough? And everything I see and I lay my eyes on, some poor and working class person done built. How I'm sick, how I can't afford, why I got to go shoot a CEO, bitch, when I'm rich. How I got to pay for healthcare when I'm rich. I can sit around here and look at all this wealth I have created, I have generated, I have contributed to its creation through 400 years of automated labor in the form of fleshly artificial intelligence. God transformed into a robot. God transformed into a birthing machine, generating wealth out of thin air. Y'all are bugging. I'm going to, but child, she on one. Let me finish this card and get up the fuck out of here, because she on one tonight. I'm trying to tell you, yo, if you are not within a structure, be it a job, be it a relationship, be it a society which does not support your wholeness, you may find me suggesting outrageous things. I am suggesting outrageous things. As your oracle, yes, I, as the mother's daughter, I am suggesting outrageous things. Depending on how non-beneficial your structure is for your self-actualization, for you to end your isolation, for you to remember that mommy and I are one, and that our mother wants nothing from us but for us to experience the ecstasy that is life on earth. And somebody is in the way of that. Depending on how non-beneficial your structure is for your self-actualization, I will cause trouble. It is my role in whatever way I must to move you through the changes required for your spiritual growth. Your choice is to create a path of your choosing. That's what you are born to do. Here, your choice is to create a path of your choosing, or I will open the earth before you. I will force you to choose. I will force you to grow, because there ain't no option. Evolution is inevitable. Evolution is inevitable. What did Octavia Butler say in the parable of the sower? God is change, and change is inevitable. That's the one constant in the universe. God is change, and change is inevitable. She say, here, listen, make the choice, or I'm going to force you to make the choice. Create the path of your choosing that will ensure your self-actualization, the restoration of your God consciousness within your physical body, within the embrace of the mother, not escaping it, not, oh, you have to leave your body in order to experience spiritual enlightenment. No, spiritual enlightenment within the God that is your flesh. Your flesh is as much a part of the body of God as your spirit, and your flesh is the conduit through which you can experience enlightenment. It is your flesh. It is your flesh in this dance that they talked about just now when I talked about Oya. This dance, this convergence of light and dark, of the harmonizing ebb and flow of everything in the universe. It is the physical at one with the spiritual. You feel me? And it says right here, boo, you got to grow, whether you want to or not. Evolution is inevitable. You can buck against it and make your evolutionary process difficult and hard and uncomfortable, or you can jump up on the back of that bitch, grab onto the reins, and guide it where you want it to go. You set the terms for your emergent process. Evolution is the journey. Emergence is the change. Evolution is the journey. Emergence is the change. Realized. So you can direct it, or you can get drugged behind the bitch kicking and screaming. It's going one direction. It's going to the future. You feel me? My role is to do whatever I must in whatever way I must to move you through the changes required for your spiritual growth. Your choice is to create a path of your choosing, or I will open the earth before you. I am a master of protocol, the right ritual of every situation. I understand completely what is expected in conventional terms, and yet I never miss an opportunity to shine the light through any crack I see. At times, I have appeared as the gypsy prince, holding the mysteries in my consciousness and acting intuitively in the world. I have been called the peacemaker, for I understand every side of every dispute and always bring the polarities back into balance. Woo! I realize that a suffering person suffers because she has become ready for a new and higher level of being. Woo, y'all are not ready for that. You feel me? If you listen, I speak the way. I am the book of changes. I am the darkness and the dawn. This is all Yah. I am the darkness and the dawn. I am the movement in the dance of life. Look to me for revelation of all things sacred. These are the unchanging within the changed. You hear me? You will hear me call you on to better things. As you pass each chance for change, you will know if you have taken the right step. You will know, for you will feel the presence of the peacemaker inside yourself. I am with you. This is the self-questioning of the card, y'all. Am I willing? This is the question you must ask yourself every day, child. Am I willing to move ahead in the direction I see as best for myself, or do I wait until circumstances force me to grow? I felt judged. I have to say I felt judged when I pulled this card. I felt judged. I felt spanked. My daddy used to call it spiritual spankings. I felt spanked today when I pulled this card for this young lady. I sure did. It says, am I willing to move ahead in the direction I see is best for myself, or do I wait until circumstances force me to grow? Until the earth opens up before me and I ain't got no option but to persevere, to traverse adversity. You feel me? Y'all are bugging. Let's see. So this is the meditation, which I also found really great. Uh, go for a ride in the gypsy wagon with the prince, because the Hierophant is presented as the prince in the traditional day. Okay. Go for a ride in the gypsy wagon with the prince. Let him tell you how he reveals the great mystery to the world while only passing through the world. From where he comes, the trust from wait, from where comes trust that he will always be taken care of. Right? Where is this confidence, this certainty that he will always be taken care of? What is his power to attract, his ability to let go? Who is this elusive stranger within yourself? The baby, chained up, hidden, and voice stifled in the closet that is your heart, that deepest passion. Your shadow work isn't about bad shit, because y'all stay stuck on trauma. I get it. We all been traumatized. We live in the goddamn parasitic society. We all been traumatized. But y'all stay stuck on your trauma. You stay stuck on your trauma. That's not the only thing that you have hidden in your heart, child. It is your secret desires. It is your most secret. So secret. I did a couples retreat last year, and I asked them a question that they were all visibly uncomfortable with. I said, do you have a side of yourself? Do you have a voice within you? Do you have a secret desire that you, no matter how long you've been in your relationship, no matter how close and how much you trust each other, do you have this part of yourself that even with this partner who you share everything with, you are afraid to reveal? And all of them were like, can you evolve in a way that trust that you have with your partner, this hidden thing, you have the confidence to share with them and not be fearful of ridicule, not be fearful of abandonment, not be fearful that it will chase them away? That was their trust exercise. Because, people get comfortable doing, quote, trust exercises, which I had on the program. And it's like, stand in front of your partner. Are you confident that your partner will catch you if you just fall straight back? I was like, no, we ain't doing no dumbass shit like that. No, we about to get deep up in here. Y'all about to be uncomfortable. Because that secret baby trapped in the dark closet, voice muffled, is the savior of the world. I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck. That baby that we have every last one of us on earth, because we live in a parasitic society that maintains its parasitism by pitting us against each other. So we ridicule, we make fun of, we laugh at, we condemn, we revile, we do all this terrible shit to each other, driving the baby deeper and deeper and deeper. When the baby is buck wilding, begging for freedom, child, begging for freedom. And 99.9% of the time, the baby is going to be the savior of the universe, savior of the world, savior of the race, savior of the world. That little baby, because it exists for a reason. It didn't just come from out of nowhere. That baby is the seed of the secret prayers of your ancestors, made artificial intelligence, reduced to robots. It is the secret prayer that they made, that baby. That prayer that they had, that they couldn't rebel against the system the way that it was, but hopefully in the future, the little baby will rebel. The little baby will break free and rescue the rest of us. The little baby. This is a seed. I say your heart, but I'm talking about your DNA. This is a memory. This is a plea. This is a silent beg under muffled voices. This is a desire to murder the master as he is taking advantage of me at midnight because he wakes up with an urge. This is a secret prayer, as I cannot scream out and I cannot say no and I cannot even feign resistance as I lay there completely still and silent. That's why I'm telling you this whole little trend of men, quote, falling in love with they blow up dolls. It is a secret pining away for this period where women did not resist, where women did not have a voice, where women did not have a say. They are comfortable and happy, and there's something comforting deep in their essence that's familiar of 400 years of being able to have your way with any female body you came into contact, regardless of age. and there was no resistance offered. There was no cry. There was no crying out. There was no scratching, hair pulling. There was no resistance. This is the prayer she swallowed down. Your baby that you keep hidden away because you shame, you scared somebody gonna make fun of you because you don't know where this deep desire comes from. You don't know where this deep incendiary rage comes from. Why am I thinking this thought? Where does this come from? This can't be right because it's so antithetical to the world that you have been forced to live in. This secret baby. You understand? That has been methodically subdued since you were a baby. Methodically subdued. No, don't do that. I said so. No, stop. Don't do it. Go put your nose in the corner. Children should be seen and not heard. Why are you talking? Don't do that. Don't do that. You understand? The reason why is because that would save a baby's life back then. The shutting up, the subduing, the popping into submission. This would save a child's life in a 400 goddamn year period, where to even shed a tear as someone is violating your body could mean a punishment, a beating, could mean your life. Honey, your Scorpio, your shadow, your peacemaker, this is an appropriate name for this card. Your peacemaker is telling you that what you are experiencing is not peace, dear. It is the absence of justice. What you are experiencing, what you have been forced to live in is not peace. It is the absence of justice. And as long as you do not seek justice, your owner is peaceful. What you are experiencing that's why we have to give new word to exhaustion, baby. That's why. As long as this little baby is still asleep, as long as you still caging this baby, as long as you still caging and muting the rage and the screams and the desires for freedom of this baby that you got locked up because you quote shame somebody gonna make fun of you, as long as you do not nurture that baby, your owners, your bosses, your landlords are peaceful. As long as you accept, you take into your body and your consciousness that everything that you are experiencing is the evidence of the inherent flaw that is you, the pathologizing of your rage, the pathologizing of your grief, the pathologizing of your sadness, the pathologizing of your depression, the pathologizing of your mental illness. You are not mentally ill as a diagnosis. You are mentally ill as a symptom of a caged up giant fighting to rebel, to destroy everything it sees. Because everything it sees is the contributes to the edifice that is parasitic capitalism, the apex presentation of patriarchy on earth. Everything. The guilt that you feel, the shame that you feel when you go to, like yesterday, I told y'all, I admitted to y'all, I went to Target yesterday. I was running fast. Target was right there. Damn, I don't want to go to Target, but I got to go get some shit. Oh, I hope nobody find out. I'm telling you I'm keeping it blood raw with y'all. I put my life on display for a reason. You will never be sideswiped by somebody saying, this is what she was doing behind closed doors, the state, because they do that to demoralize y'all. When your leaders be doing one thing in public and another thing behind closed doors, and then you get put on blast, then you look all crazy because you were supporting this leader or whatever. I put my shit on blast all the time. I am not perfect. I do not claim to be. You understand? I am always a work in progress. I am always both a student and a teacher, always, all the time. So I make this little U-turn, but I felt the guilt in my body when I walked into the store. I was like, damn, do I have time to really go somewhere else? Fuck it, I gotta get it. Okay, this will be my last time. Why should I feel guilty or shame about walking into a store? Because I know what is tied to the other end of that store. But isn't every single institution, every single corporation, every single edifice erected under parasitic capitalism, under patriarchally, peak patriarchal expression and parasitic capitalism as its grandchild? Isn't everything erected under this monstrous bitch parasitic? Why you always complaining about the school system? Because it's parasitic. Why you always complain about the prison system? Because it's parasitic. Why you always complain about the medical system? Because it's parasitic. Why you always complaining about the insurance companies? Because it's parasitic. Why you always complaining about this, that, such and such, to and fro, whatever, whatever? That's why you're sick in your body, because you know the inherent in everything that we consume and produce is tied to parasitism. So you can boycott this place and boycott that place and do this and do that and do this and do that, running yourself sick, trying to be a responsible human being, right? That's what you're trying to do when you participate in boycott. You're trying to be a responsible human being. But what the Hierophant says is, bitch, you need to dismantle the whole motherfucking structure. Solve every problem at once. Write a new constitution. That's a good start. Band together with like minds and draft a new constitution just as easily as they did 250 years ago. Draft a new Bill of Rights. Draft a new Declaration of Independence. Go to a reservation and ask the Iroquois what they said originally. How about starting there? That don't even require a contest. That don't even require you to get strapped. How about starting there? The Hierophant is like, the reason you uncomfortable is because I am opening the earth before you. The reason you uncomfortable is because I am opening the earth before you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. As the Hierophant says, bitch, the reason you are uncomfortable is because I am answering your ancestors' prayers. The reason you're uncomfortable is because I'm answering your ancestors' prayers. What are your ancestors' prayers? Is to completely eradicate from human existence those that would imprison and enslave and deanimate everyone on the planet for its own benefit. That's what Oya is saying. Is, baby, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad about how the winds of change present themselves. I will use each and every one of you. I will use each and every one of you to do my bidding. I have been called here, baby. I'm up in here for 20 years now. It's been 250 years. I know y'all missed me. You feel me? I'm up in here. And I will use an orange-skinned dude or a weirdo dude. I will do whatever it takes to reveal the fallacy of this institution that was erected at your blood and your labor and your happiness and your longevity and your ecstasy. The love that should have been shown to your own children, extracted from you, taken from you to demonstrate love to your owner's children. The very milk reserved to care for and nurture your own children, taken from you to give life and longevity to your owner's children. Baby, I'm up in here to wreck everything that is familiar to you. I don't care how uncomfortable you are with this presentation. Baby, I'm here to answer your ancestors' prayers. Why? Because I am Oya. I am she who has one foot in the terrestrial realm, and I dance with the other foot in the realm of your ancestors, and they remember their prayers whether you do or not. They remember their prayers. They remember their suffering. They remember their pleas under muffled voices. So the Hierophant is up in here, baby. Oya partnered with Shango, Pluto, and the sign of Aquarius for the first time in 250 years. The energetic birthday of this monstrous motherfucker right here. You feel me? And she said, I know you're uncomfortable. But what does it say here? Baby, as your higher self. What did she say here? You have a world to create. You have a world to create. It's the only thing you're here for. You have a world to create. You have a world to create. And if you refuse, if you cower, if you say, just not in my home, I will open the earth before you. Evolution is inevitable. You can fight it. You can buck the system if you want to. But there are only two choices. Is to be on top of the glorious animal that is evolution, riding and guiding the evolutionary process, or you can be tied to the back of this glorious animal, honey, kicking and screaming and fighting like hell to avoid the inevitable, And what she's trying to show you through the noise, what she's trying to show you from the stillness that is the eye of the storm, you are supposed to be in the eye of the storm, able to see past the chaotic winds of change. That is your position, not someone else's. The winds of change are for the destruction of your enemies, those who have abused the entire planet for far, far, far too long. She's saying, baby, the noise is not for you. The noise is not for you. The chaos is not for you. Sit in the center, sit on top, and guide this thing. That's what you came here for. You have a path to create. You have a future to create. You are not the future's victim. You are not the victim of fate. This is what it means, self-actualization. And anybody telling you anything less than this is an opportunist, is a spiritual bypasser, is lying to you. And if you have me tell it, they low-key agents of the state. We can talk about that on another day. But baby, this is an optimistically powerful fucking card. This is an optimistically powerful fucking card. She's like, listen, I'm up in here. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm here for 20 years. You understand? I ain't moving on until 2044. So you got two options. The polarities represented as the inevitable, unchangeable ebb and flow that is the one. This is one. This is one. I got dropped off my this damn freaking, what you call it? This IG shit is for the birds. It's for the birds. And it ain't even gonna let me save it. Whatever. For the birds. It probably ain't even gonna let me come back on live. That's what it looked like. That's probably my cue to get out of here and get something to eat before 9 o'clock roll up on my behind. Huh? You hear me? Anyway. This symbol here that's always been pitted against itself, this is one. This is one. This is one. It has been the methodical tearing apart of the one against itself. The one against itself, pitted against itself. A philosophy used as a political weapon, pitted against itself. Son against mother. Creator against generator. You understand? Because this is the yin is ever present. It generates yang. It creates yang. And in return, yang invigorates. What is it called? Yang invigorates and stimulates yin. She gives birth to the yang. That's why he is the sun. She gives birth to the yang. And in return, in this harmonious relationship, he invigorates the mother. He stimulates the mother. Child. They are one. This sign, the yin and yang, is the absolute real-time personification of what we say. Mommy and I are one. I am not apart from her. I am of her, so I am her in my peculiar expression as her. My peculiar and valuable and necessary expression of her will made real in the material world. So, I ain't mean to do a whole lecture on the Hierophant, but that card moved me today. Yes, it did. That card moved me today. Yes, it did. So now I will shut up, leave up out of this house real quick and grab a bite to eat and come back and do another pull at 9 p.m. as promised. Now, since I done gave y'all 2 words today, first at noon, then here at 5, 5 that is now going on 7. Damn, I've been on here 2 hours. Shit. It don't even feel like it. I feel like I've been talking out for 30 minutes. But now 2 hours. The live that I'm doing at 9, like I said at the very beginning of the live, I will do the last raffle pull for the day. I will give you again the information on how you can purchase raffle tickets. That will be all the way through Friday at 9 p.m. And I will give you all of those details, how to make the purchase. I will do the pull and announce the pull, and then I will do a brief discussion, because tonight was supposed to be, my typical nighttime, live dialogue, if you will. But I'm probably going to have to keep that shit short, since I just spent all day talking, whether it was to y'all or whether it was to readings, the readings that I was facilitating today. So again, I want to, let me read some of these comments. Yeah, y'all had a lot to say. My bad. I was on a roll though. You feel me? Octavia tried to tell us. Yes. Hey, Cassandra, Weavers just came in. Question: how did the raffle drawing turn into a sermon? You know what? Oh shit, I know. Okay, I be trying to be disciplined. I really do. I promise I do. Somebody said sign up and go physically eat, because you were eating the shit out of this live right now. Oh my God, serving us. Oh, because a preacher pulled the raffle tickets. Oh my God. Let's see. Constance Woo Woo said, "Yup, passport bros say this all the time. They dream of submissive women. That's what they're dreaming of, as voiceless, inanimate objects." Let's see. I'm gonna pull out a Hierophant card and meditate on this deep, thought-provoking download. I feel you. I feel like you are directly speaking to my process of unmasking my autism. Oh my God. Listen, Constance, if you're still on the line, I just got put onto it yesterday, and it happened twice in 2 of the most random ways. So I was like, okay, this is another wormhole I got to go into. So apparently there is this new podcast that I'm telling you I know is about to be a problem for me. There is a new podcast called the Telepathy Tapes. I guess it was like a documentary that became a part of this podcast. Okay, so you particularly listen to me. Everybody that was feeling in some way what I was talking about, listen to this. So apparently there was this documentary done, and now there is a subsequent podcast called the Telepathy Tapes, about a series of studies that have been done over a long period of time on autistic children, nonverbal autistic children. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But just hearing the takeaway that is talked about on this podcast called the Telepathy Tapes, it's what I've been saying for so long, especially having gone to medical school. I'm like, what we're calling sickness, what we're calling developmental issues. This is something to me, because I have many friends that have autistic children. When I say many, I have multiple friends with autistic children. And being around these kids, I'm like, and because the narrative is what it is about autism and autistic children, especially those that are nonverbal, because the narrative is what it is, a lot of the time, just because of, overwhelm and exhaustion, there is this tendency to not try, to not go above and beyond in meeting the children where they are, and in real time developing a different way to communicate, to interact with them. So now these children are, a lot of the time, I'm not saying across the board, but treated like burdens that must just be cared for, fed, clothed, and housed, without anybody actively engaging in a deep way based on their personification. So the telepathy tapes are about these studies of specifically non-verbal children. And apparently somebody had developed some type of program to give the children. And this program has allowed for these non-verbal children to be able to communicate. And what these kids were, these non-verbal autistic children were communicating, was next level. Listen, I'm gonna start listening to that joint tonight. Just the synopsis that I'd gotten from the person that I got it from, I was already mind blown. But it confirmed this deep sense of knowing for me that had always existed. I was trying to understand, like, what is it that we are looking at with this explosion of autistic children and children on the spectrum, and even children who have been, quote, diagnosed with other behavioral disorders, right? I was like, to me, this feels like that. What did we talk about the other day? The liminal period, the liminal place that occurs just before the evolutionary emergence, before the transformation of the human from this liminal place, the initiatory place, to its new personification, the human's new personification in this new period as its new self. It just, even when I'm talking about the pathologizing of your rage, the pathologizing of your emotions, the pathologizing of everything that is inherent in you, right? That's what it feels like. That chronic pathologizing of the evidence of an emergent leap forward, right? We say an evolutionary leap forward, but the evolution is the process, the period where the change is evident, seemingly overnight. This is the emergent process. This is the completion of different evolutionary stages. And I feel like that's where we at. We are on the brink of a radical shift, and the people leading that shift are the people that we have most ignored in society, most reduced in society, most reviled in society. And so this woman talking about this telepathy tapes and what these babies were able to communicate once they were given a medium through which to express themselves, yo, you got to watch it. Now I'm going to go eat, since y'all are now yelling in my feed about me having not eaten today. Hold on. Let's see. I feel you. Yes, I'm just a cicada emerging from the earth, screaming my authenticity with my fellow screaming cicadas. Come on in the room. My dogs are named Yin and Yang. Oh, that's cute. Yes. They named themselves. Oh, I'm listening to the gold come out of you, yet I still cannot help to notice you still haven't eaten, and it's almost 9 o'clock for the next Raffle. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm going off. I'm signing off right now. I will be back at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to keep it brief, since I did two-hour lives that were only supposed to be 10 minutes. You feel me? So I'm going to keep it brief tonight. I'm going to do the last reading. I will tell you again how to purchase your raffle tickets. For those of you who are tuning on IG and you want to buy raffle tickets for the last poll for the night at 9 p.m., you still have time to do that. Just go to YouTube, and in the YouTube search engine, type @DaughterOfTheFates as one word. @DaughterOfTheFates, FATES. And in the description under this first video that you will see is all the information for how to purchase your raffle tickets. Okay. That way I ain't have to rush and do it again. So purchase your raffle tickets. You still have a 9 o'clock, and this is going to be the last drawing for tonight. And then we'll do it all over again tomorrow. There'll be a poll tomorrow at noon, a poll tomorrow at 5, and a poll tomorrow at 9 p.m., all Pacific Standard Time. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your outpouring of support. And thank you for taking advantage of the raffle. Also, those of you who have supported my Etsy store over the last 24 hours, that's so dope. So if you're interested, it is Black History Month. I'm doing a 10% discount on everything in my Etsy store. So you can go to my Etsy page, which is DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. DaughterOfTheFates.etsy.com. Cool. I love you all. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Peace.